Located on 150 acres, Yancey House is considered the most historically significant structure in rural Caswell County. The oldest part of the house was built in 1806. It was once the home of lawyer and North Carolina politician Bartlett Yancey.
He was a U.S. congressman. He hobnobbed with all the national politicians of the day. He was close personal friends with the President of the United States, John Quincy Adams.
You can still find vestiges that tell the story of this property. This was once Yancey's law office. And this was once an active tobacco barn, the largest in North Carolina.
This is solid oak all the way up. So 150 years ago, approximately, when this was built, this was a superhuman construction feat because these logs are nearly 30 feet long and they're solid oak. And it was built without the use of cranes or forklifts.
People who visit the house today come not only for a history lesson, but also for the food.
3 veggies, that's it for 31. Thank you, guys.
Mike and his wife Lucindy bought the Yancey house in 2005 and turned it into a restaurant.
He called me one day at the office at NC State where I was teaching, and he said, "Honey, they're auctioning off the Yancey house out in the front yard. I think I'll stop and see what's going on." And of course I knew exactly what was going on because we've been married so long.
A gourmet cook since she was a teenager, Lucindy says Mike convinced her to take an early retirement from academia to be the head chef.
We never even thought about advertising, that we relied on word of mouth. And it did take a couple of years before people began coming more, and really in the last year we've seen a great increase.
This is fresh local squash. Pinata's our sous chef, and she's grilling this for our veggie panini.
This project here with Mike and Lucindy is a catalyst so people can see it can be done. And this is just the beginning. They have the we can do spirit, and they show it. They live it every day.
Mike and Lucindy believe in honoring the past, but they're also committed to a brighter future for Caswell County. Once home to large tobacco farms, Caswell was once one of the richest counties in the state. Today, it's one of the poorest. One restaurant can't change the fortunes of this county, but the Willises like to think they can make a difference.
It's always been part of our makeup to support the community. I don't like to think of it as, I wouldn't probably describe it as giving back, but supporting and moving us forward. And while moving us forward, also keeping that which is important. Caswell County's history is very rich.
And so it's important to spend as many dollars as you can right here locally.
One way they do that is by supporting local farmers, like Suzanne Bird. She's a fifth-generation Caswell County farmer. Her great-great-grandfather grew tobacco here in 1918. 4 years ago, Suzanne and her mom decided to grow vegetables, and the Yancey house is one of their biggest customers.
That's really big for us because the produce that we grow is consumed probably within a 20-25 mile radius of right here. So we want to be able to get the freshest, best quality, vine ripened, produce and melons, and be able to sell them to the public and the community that we live in.
That's a sentiment shared by Della Williams.
So butterscotch is a real people goat, aren't you, sweetheart? Here, what do you think? You want some of this? You know what to do with it, don't you? Oh, yeah.
She owns the Sleepy Goat Farm where Lucindy and Mike buy their cheese for the restaurant.
The interest in what we are doing, I have seen a quantum jump in the interest over the last year. We've been operating just sort of getting along, and over the last year there's more interest. People want to know what we're doing.
Della is particularly encouraged by the young people who have taken an interest in her farm. She says for too long, places like Caswell County have seen young people move away, but she thinks that's slowly changing. Mike Ballard just moved back after spending 4 years in Brooklyn, New York.
When I was in high school, everyone I went to high school with was all we talked about was getting out. It's not as hard as I thought it was going to be to come back. I'm actually really excited about everything that's been going on.
Mike thinks there are encouraging signs to entice people back to the area.
Maybe if people see that places like Sleepy Goat Farm are here and the restaurant is here, then maybe they'll see that there's actually something going on that they can be a part of.
With just 56,000 people in Caswell County, the Willises knew to support their restaurant, they needed to pull visitors from the surrounding area. And that's just what they're doing. 85 to 90% of their guests come from outside the county. Mike likes to say they're a destination restaurant.
And they're looking for quality, and quality means local, is what it means. Food is either raised to ship or it's grown to eat. And there's a big difference in the flavors and the taste between those two. So food that's grown to eat is ripened on the vine, it's just tastier, fresher, and so people appreciate that, and that's what they want.
When I go and eat here, I'm helping folks here, I'm helping provide jobs here, keep jobs here, and keeping money within the communities is becoming fashionable again, which is a good thing, and I think it needs to go that direction.
While the Yancey House is very much a business, the Willises still like to think of this as the home it once was.
People, when they come in, they feel like it's home. They feel like they're visiting our home. I've even had someone, when they left the restaurant, say, "Thank you so much for having us." And it's genuine.